What's up, movie fans? James Patrick here. Got another ranking video for you. And this one, we are ranking the 5 Evil Dead films in the Evil Dead franchise, which include the 3 OG Sam Raimi trilogy, as well as the Fede Alvarez reboot, and then the Evil Dead Rise, which is a sequel to the reboot, which came out in 2013. And I got to be honest, this was one of the harder series to rank because this franchise has no skips. Every movie's good in its right, with one asterisk, and I want to unpack what that is and why I really struggled, or why it led to me struggling to rank these films. As with all the ranking videos, we are looking at 10 different categories and scoring the films on a scale of 0 to 100, and that's how I'm able to derive the actual ranking of it. And we're looking at things like story, character development, effects, directing, acting, editing, the overall entertainment of the movie, etc. So, without further ado, let's get in. We always start with the worst, we work up to the best, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say, please hit that subscribe button, share this video with a friend, click the bell notifications, all those things. Really appreciate it. Helps the channel out. Okay, so starting at the bottom. Now, remember, to preface yet again, there's no bad movies in this. There's only good to exceptional. So starting off with the worst, which is still good, is Evil Dead Rise. Now, this is a fun movie. It's got decent characters, decent acting. The gore and effects are really, really good. It's got pretty decent pacing throughout the entire movie. The struggle I have with this, and this is the asterisk I mentioned, between this film, Evil Dead Rise, and the remake that Fede Alvarez did, is canonically, I struggle to connect it to the original trilogy because of the tone shift, because this is such a serious take on the franchise, on the storyline, on the narrative, on the characters. If it was not an Evil Dead movie, this is a B plus A minus. But because I have to compare it in the context of the original trilogy, it does take a hit by association, because the original trilogy is, it's almost hallowed ground at this point. But that being said, it's hard to put this movie down too much. Yes, does it have some plot issues? Fine. Um, but overall, this is a solid horror film. And you know, I if this were titled anything else, you would enjoy watching it without any issues. The only, I think, issues that are derived when people watch this is when they are trying to connect it to the other films in the series. So the worst, which is still good, is Evil Dead Rise. Moving up to number 4, we have the original. And I'm sorry. Like I said, there's no bad movies in this. And the scoring was really close with all these films, but something had to be in spot number 4, and that's the original. There's so much to like about this. Yeah, no budget, no problem was the first thing I wrote. I mean, the insane camera tricks that Raimi was employing. I mean, this is clearly a no budget film, made with such love, and you can tell the passion that was put into this film. I wrote a comment that the entire movie is just Dutch angles and buckets of blood, and it is. And it's so ugly of a film in such a beautiful way, or such a beautiful film in an ugly way. I'm not really sure. It just works. It is very outdated, but it's a lot of fun. And the only reason it's ranked lower in this is because it did not age as well as some of the other ones, which aged with a little more grace. Also, the characters are so much better in the other films versus this one. This has the weakest portrayal of Ash in any of the films. We haven't truly seen the arc of Ash Williams. All right, moving up to number 3, we have Fede Alvarez's 2013 reboot of the franchise, Evil Dead, not to be confused with The Evil Dead. Drop the word the. This was the film that shifted the tone to hyper serious, but this is a really good movie. Does it have its down parts? Yes. I hate the characters. I don't know why. And this is synonymous with most of Fede Alvarez's work. I just don't like the way he makes characters. Don't enjoy his character portrayal. I didn't like it in Romulus. I didn't like it in Don't Breathe. I don't like it in this one. These are not enjoyable characters to watch. And when you have characters that you don't really like, it's hard to care about the characters. So that was the biggest hit that this film took, and probably what kept this film at 3 and not 2 was how bad the characters were. But the filming of this was so good. The cinematography, the camera tricks that they employed in this were just jaw-dropping. Absolutely love the cinematography in this. And we cannot not mention the sound design in this. You feel like you are in this cabin. You feel like it is raining outside. You feel every action that happens, every step on the hardwood floors, every movement that someone makes when the character's ripping open the plastic binding of the book. You hear it, you feel it. I mean, when sound evokes more than just an auditory response, that's great sound design. This has immaculate sound design. Um, uh, Act 1 did have some pacing issues. Now, for this, I was watching the unrated version. So Act 1 just ran for a while longer than I think it needed to. The only other issue I had with this film, outside of the bad characters, is it had really rough editing. Did not like the editing. They took what could be really great scenes, really great action, really uncomfortable depictions, and they just did lots and lots and lots and lots of fast cuts, or there's a lot of flashback cuts. It's just the editing is just so poor in this movie that it pulls down what otherwise is just such a gorgeous film. But whoever the editor is on this, shame on you. Shame on you. All right, moving on. Number 2, Army of Darkness. I mean, yes, this is the biggest tongue in the cheek one of the entire series. I wrote, yeah, they jumped the shark, but they stuck the landing. And that's what's so fun about this. This is a fun movie. I mean, take aside, the concept of it, traveling back in time to medieval times to fight the Deadites. Put all that aside, the willing suspension of disbelief. This is just a fun movie in regards to the cinematography, the special effects, the makeup effects, the stop motion. Love it. I mean, the skeleton design in this and the stop motion work with the skeletons is so good. But ultimately what we're seeing Sam Raimi in full Sam Raimi zone. Like, you see the evolution of his work as a director, as a filmmaker, kind of growing with each of the films, with the original, with Evil Dead 2, and then with Army of Darkness. I mean, they basically took the reins off and they said, "You do you." And that style of filming and the quick takes and the camera movement with the characters, which became such a staple of his later work. This is the movie where it's fully on display, where he is let roam and he creates something that's so fun and so enjoyable. I haven't seen this movie in probably 15 or more years, and I was having a blast watching it. So at number 2, we have Army of Darkness, which leaves us with number 1, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. This is as close to a perfect horror film that one could imagine, and I have a few reasons why. One, it is a complete improvement on the first one. Everything that we liked about the first one is made better in part 2. The makeup effects and the practical effects are brilliant. The special effects that they use, which do feel a bit dated, are still delightful to watch. And that's what makes it kind of cool. It's like, yes, that feels old, but it still looks fun. So it's not dated in a way that it pulls you out of it. It's in a way that enriches your experience into watching it. And the decision to allow this film to bridge into the comedy element of it, the reason I really like this, where part 3 is just pure comedy, the reason I like this balance is the journey we take as an audience into the humor is on pace with the journey the main character, Ash Williams, takes into madness. And I think that tonally is done so perfectly. Whereas Ash falls deeper into madness, we as the audience are treated with more and more humor at the events that are transpiring in this film. And that is a difficult thing to portray, and they did it so brilliantly in this. We also see, as with all three of the original films, just great cinematography, great effects. I love Ash in this. Like, yes, we get full Ash in Army of Darkness, but I love the balance of seeing Ash actually arc in this movie, where in part one he's a wet blanket, in part three he's the ultimate BA. In this one, we get to see that evolution, we get to see that shift, we get to see his brain actually snap. And the Ash that we, love, that, they made an entire multiple season TV show based off of, was born in Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. I was reading through others' reviews of this, and someone had written that Evil Dead 2 is the Godfather 2 of the horror franchise, or of the horror genre. And I don't think there's a more perfect encapsulation of what this film is. It is the Godfather 2 of horror. And what a great note to go out on. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. If there are other franchises you want me to check out, let me know in the comment section below. I'm trying to get into the Wishmaster franchise. I'm trying to get into the Species franchise. We've hit all these big top ones, and now I have these like mid-tier or low-tier ones that, I'll be honest, are a little harder to get through. They're a little harder to enjoy sitting for 6 to 12 hours. But I'll do it. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section what you want me to rank next. I also like to see your rankings. Put them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch you on the next screening. Take care, everyone.